We are a go. Hello.
Oh God,
This
ready, steady, go.
Ready, Steady, Cook. Remember that show?
Yes.
I love that show.
My
That was a
sister
great
recently
show.
applied to me on that show because we thought it'd be funny. But didn't work out.
What would you make on that show if you were on Ready, Steady, Cook?
I don't know. I'd leave that to the professional.
Well, yeah,
I would
but
just be sitting there insulting my sister for the entire show. That would be the plan.
I.
Maybe some kind of pasta-based dish.
Ooh, that sounds good. I most probably would make like beans on toast. Like, I can't really make anything else, to be honest with you. You know.
Yeah. Cereal with slightly questionable milk.
You know, lumpy milk. Welcome everyone to the very first podcast of. We have
My cat wants to join in.
We have a cat as well joining in. Hello. This is my co-host for the podcast, Eloise Jackson. If you'd like to say hello.
Hello.
And
my cat Onyx also is part of it today.
so yes, this is the new arm of a YouTube channel. I thought would be quite good. I've known Eloise for too long. No, how long?
That's supposed to be 4 years now?
4
That sounds
years.
weird.
We've known each other
That's
for
crazy.
4 years. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Like,
God, time goes so quickly now.
it does, don't it? I literally remember just coming over your house like for second and third year, just for like games nights and stuff. Majority of the time.
Pancakes.
Pancake. Can you remember what was the pancake? What was the? We named the pancake.
Daisy.
Daisy. So to give you.
And I can't remember the little brother's name. I don't remember. Right, my cat is just breaking my room.
to give it.
No, Daisy.
To give it
I just took a
audience.
picture of that.
Yeah. Have you? Oh.
I don't know, somewhere, I feel like. Probably. Framed.
To give the audience some information, we made pancakes and we put, with the Smarties we put in the pancakes?
It was mini eggs, I remember, and
Mini
we
eggs.
thought it'd be a great idea to we'll do a cute little face on the pancakes and it'll come out really cool. But,
It came out like a cyclops.
yeah, it's obviously...
The chocolate melted.
Yeah, and then there's like the outer shell caramelized and it just came out with an absolute monster. And it was like we do a before and after where it's like cooking in the pan and it was like really cute. It was like, oh, it's going to turn out really well. And then it's just like this absolutely just
It was.
disgrace being.
That was a fantastic pancake. I don't know who ate it. Was
Tasted
it?
very nice. I don't know.
I can't remember who ate it. Tom
No,
most
we just
probably
did
ate it.
it. She's still in the basement somewhere.
Yeah, she's hiding. She's chained up in the basement.
She's not allowed out. The outer world cannot see her.
She would cause chaos upon the world.
Yeah, it'd be like Frankenstein's monsters just running around the town causing trouble.
I feel like that is the last thing we need after COVID striking the world. Just Daisy the pancake running loose. Destroying
Maybe it would
everything.
just be on trend, I think, at this point.
Hashtag release
That'd
Daisy.
be nothing. That would just be like, at
That's
this point in life, a crazy pancake monster that wouldn't surprise me. It would just...
It's just like the follow-up to everything that's already happened, you know.
Yeah, like the cherry on top.
So, yeah, we are going to talk about university for this one. We thought we'd have an easy start rather than talking about deep stuff. The deep stuff that's coming up along the next few weeks.
Start with uni, which is, of course, always happy and fun.
Exactly, you know, that's like, you know, you gotta start with a bit of, how do I put it? A bit of,
the time of your life where all those things encompassed in a couple of years.
yeah, exactly. So, before we start, I have a question for you. To break it down, what was your favourite part of uni?
Favourite part of uni? Probably, I suppose just the community aspect of it, knowing that like all your friends are within walking distance. Because we were quite lucky in the fact that we did go to a relatively small place, so like everything was within like a 20-minute walk. So
it was
it'd
nice.
be like you can rock up and do whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just there was always someone there.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like now, like outside of uni, like it's so much more of a hassle to like arrange to do something with your friends because like life gets in the way, and especially now it is just like
Everyone's got jobs.
Like, oh, it's been 3 weeks and we should probably meet up. But uni, all you have to do is run out of bed and then like knock on their door and it's like, hi.
Hi, I'm here for the night.
Let's do something.
Well, yeah, because
you do take that for granted when you're at uni, I think, because as soon as you leave, it's like, oh no.
you literally be like walking around there like 9 o'clock, or you'd be bored at 9, half 9, and you just met. I remember messaging you, be like, you want to go for a Mackey's walk? And we'd be we'd be walking to McDonald's like at 11 o'clock at night just because we were fed and we were bored. Like,
yeah.
we can't do that anymore. I mean, we can't.
I know, because I remember it wasn't until third year, like, coming up to lockdown that, like, delivery, or whatever it's called,
Properly.
became a thing. So if you wanted Mackey's, you could just order it.
Yeah.
You had to walk.
Well, that's the thing, because
It was probably better.
we're
I
like,
didn't like it so much.
where like I lived, which was a 20-minute walk away from you, we had a Mackey's next in Stockbridge, but it would shut at 11 o'clock or like 10:30. So it
was 10. I remember
it was 10.
going there like 10:30. It was only the driveway open. I was like, what? Before I knew about the 24-hour one.
I always remember.
Many a night was spent there.
I always remember the very first year, right, where we all went out to the SU, and there was about 8 or 9 of us who walked to Mackey's then. Like, that was the first time we actually had like a proper group of like people that we kind of stuck around with for majority of the year. Well, 3 years then.
Yeah.
Like, we got our good friend Tom, which was hiding actually like 2 floors above me. He didn't even come out that night. I was just like, oh, I know someone who will go Mackey's for a walk.
I know. I always like talk about this with him, and I just like I don't think I was even that drunk, but I just don't remember this night. I feel like the first time I met him was like the beach party. I don't remember.
You can't remember it.
Mackey's.
Oh.
I know, and I don't think it was even alcohol induced because it's the like.
Tired.
I don't think I was ever that bad that I forget what I did, but like. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was like Freshers Week or something, and it was literally.
No, I don't think it was like the last week. No, it was in the block at the time, the end of first year, where we didn't have lessons, but everyone was still in uni.
No, it wasn't now, was it?
It was because I didn't know who Tom was first year.
Oh. Okay.
And a vague recollection of like walking to Mackey's. And I think that was the first time, because I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
I
don't really remember it that well. I remember the beach party.
The beach party. I can't remember the beach party, see. It must have been good if I can't remember it.
Not queuing outside for about 2.5 hours. Remember that?
You know what? I always remember
You
queuing.
probably repressed that memory, and it's probably for the best. It wasn't
Yeah,
fun. I remember.
Do you know what? Queuing in Chichester was a nightmare. Can you remember queuing for like vestry, walking around like the corner? You'd be waiting for like an hour and a half around the hairdressers, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
You'd have everyone have a chance, you banging on the windows.
Yeah. I spent far too long in the vestry queue, and I don't know why. It was never worth it.
It really wasn't.
It was never worth it.
It really wasn't.
You just didn't move. It would be like you'd be there for about half an hour and like you literally did not move. And it was like it was like 4 meters away. It was like, there's the entrance. I've been in the same spot for an hour and someone's pissing against the drain. And then now there's like just little. It's just. I remember. I think that was the lowest point in my uni life where I was just standing outside vestry at like I don't know when it was, like 12:30, still not in after queuing for like nearly 2 hours, and then there's just urine slowly
coming your way.
just seeing them across the pavement in the queue, and I'm just like. But then at that point you're like right by the barrier, so it's like the closest you've ever been. It's like I can't just leave now.
I can't leave now. It's too close.
I need to leave, but I can't have this 2 hours of my life be wasted.
And usually it was at that point, wasn't it, where you were so close to getting in that the security guard would be like 1 in, 1 out. And literally it would be 1 in, 1 out. Like, it wouldn't,
Yeah.
people would take forever to come out as well. They'd be like, I'm coming, no I'm not, I'm going to stay in for a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'd have to say the best moment in uni most probably was staying in the library to do all-nighters. Like, they say that uni's expensive.
That's the classic thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Uni's not expensive. Like, the shop and staying in the library all night eating crap is expensive. Like,
Donuts.
so I remember spending like 9-10 quid on just drinks and sweets just to power through an all-nighter. And even then, I think I still most probably failed the.
Yeah, it didn't really work. I remember one time when we went, and it was like, hey, I think we called you up and was like, you need to bring snacks.
Yeah, I remember that.
You need to bring snacks, and then I don't remember much work being done that night, but.
I always remember, like, in 3rd year, we were doing an essay, and Tom came along, was like, oh, I got an essay to do. I was like, join in, we do an all-nighter. And he brought Mario Kart, and he plugged it into the TV, and I always remember it was like 1, 2 in the morning, and I was stressing out, and he looked at me, and he just went, so peacefully, he went, Mario Kart? And in my mind, I was so stressed. I was like, I've got about 2,000 more words to do. But sure, why not? And we played Mario Kart for like half hour, and then I cracked on. And, I'd done the essay, but still.
Yeah. That sums it up. You're in the last 12 hours of the essay, of the essay deadline. This is what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You've still got 2,000 words to go. Do you continue? Nah. Hey, Mario.
And even with
otherwise you cry.
Even with like Turnitin, it'd be like the deadline, say 2 o'clock. You'd have to turn it in at like 1 o'clock just to be sure that no one else was turning it in, so it just goes straight through it. Otherwise, you'd be waiting forever for it to go through.
Yeah,
it was.
I think I was always quite good. Like 1st year, I think only 1st year was where I left everything like last minute, where I was like on the like night of the deadline doing everything, which was alright because 1st year, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Well,
after that, I always did it last minute. I would always do it in like the last few days, but I would refuse to leave it the night before. So I would get it done the night before the deadline, like the night
I know what.
Before the night before the deadline, and then I would just go to the library and just sit there while everyone else was having breakdowns, finishing their essay, and just like
just chilling. I literally remember once.
Literally last night, I pretended that my deadline was last night, so
I literally remember. I remember one time I was doing an essay in the library, and you were in the library with Tom, and I came over, and you were so chill, and I was like, "How the hell are you so chill?" And you're like, "Oh, I'd done mine last night." I was like, "Why didn't I think about that?"
I just kind of went there to help, just let other people do theirs. Like, I remember like doing all of Tom's grammar, like going through.
Oh, yeah, the crap. Do you know what? I always remember writing essays and then going back over just to fix the grammar. And fixing the grammar took longer than writing the freaking essay on its own.
I know. Oh no, it's references that are the worst.
Oh.
References are always, I think, the essay is nothing.
It's getting the references.
At the end of the day, like, you just kind of write, blah, 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 and that's done. And if there are references that made me want to jump off the library roof, like... And it wasn't until, I think, one of the last essays I ever did, third year, it wasn't then that it clicked. I can just do the references as I write it.
Yeah.
Like, when I get a reference, I do the reference.
Yeah.
I don't know why for the rest of the 3 years I left it all till last minute and then spent like 6 hours going back through my essay adding all the references. Like, why? Why did it take the last essay
It
I
don't
ever
make
had
sense.
to write to realise it's so much easier if I just
Write it in your
I write the
essay.
essay. So there's a tip.
Yeah.
For anyone writing essays, just
Top
do
tip.
it while you're doing it. As soon as you find a reference,
Plug it in.
just do it then. Otherwise you'll cry. Just
I
do it then.
I always remember for 1 or 2 essays, I literally, I'd be like, I'd write the essay, do the references at the end, like you said, but like, I'd just flick open a book. I'd be like, that one worked, I'll shove that by there, and it might have nothing to do with what I was writing, but it worked. It worked. I don't know why it worked or how it worked. It worked though.
Yeah. I feel like I probably couldn't get away with it if I did a more academic academic course where they actually check them. Because they always say, like, make sure your references are, like, good references because we'd all check them.
Yeah.
I didn't. I got the dodgiest references ever. Like, from some really, like, sleazy, like, kind of, like, WordPress blog website written by some person that's got, like, 7 followers. But if they had a little quote that really fit the point that I was doing, I was just like...
That's
it. Really official, like, and like, so I'm really glad that they never actually checked our references because I had some
Wikipedia.
very questionable references. Actually, no, Wikipedia, that's fine. I did get most of my references from Wikipedia, but all you have to do is they have all the sources and
under the bottom.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That is the best trick that you can ever think of because like, you can't say you got it from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But they have all their references.
At the bottom on the page.
Again, you can use Wikipedia, as long as you use the reference list from Wikipedia, not Wikipedia.
Not Wikipedia itself.
That's like lies to all those teachers that told me that you can't get everything from Wikipedia. You can.
You literally, like...
Wikipedia is actually very helpful if you use it correctly.
yeah, if you use it correctly, because obviously anyone can just change Wikipedia. Like, you don't have to be credited, or you don't need a certain level or anything to change Wikipedia.
But you say that, but there are a lot of guidelines.
Well,
If you write something wrong, that will very quickly get changed and you'll get, like, banned.
yeah.
Like, so it's like, again, all you have to do is only use the quotes within Wikipedia.
Within
not quote
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. The
Itself.
actual, like, yeah.
Okay then. So like, we've discussed the best part of uni. What would you say is like the worst personal part of uni for you?
Like I said, I can't remember good weeks where I would just eat cereal because I was just too lazy. Not even that I can't cook things. I just it was usually coming up to like the end of the year, where I was like, or the end of the term, where I was like, I don't want to do a big shop, so.
And it'd always be late at night when.
That's just normal, I would though.
It,
About low points.
It's always easier, isn't it, as well, just to do a bowl of cereal than actually put the oven on or chuck something in my microwave. You just like, I just
Like,
go.
I'm hungry now.
I just
I'm
go.
not hungry in half an hour. My food will be done.
I can have like a bowl of Cocoa Pops and then ice cream or something like that, you know? Like,
Exactly.
it's just, I wouldn't suggest putting a Cocoa Pops with your ice cream, but like, if you want to do that, crack on.
That sounds quite good. It's
Yeah.
twisty, isn't it?
Cocoa Pops ice cream.
I always went for crunchy nut clusters.
Ooh, yeah, the chocolate curls, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have chocolate curls. Yeah. I, to be honest, I'd have to say the worst part of uni most probably was, the amount of stress that, like,
Yeah, I
but
think that's always going to be it, isn't it?
it's not even the stress that, like, from, the work, say, it's the stress that you put on yourself.
Yeah, it's just kind of everything together sometimes. Like, I think that's probably, like, where a lot of any kind of down points of uni come from, because everything's very, like, I don't know, heightened.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the best way to put it. Like, everything's there. All friends, like dramas, work, stress. You're thinking about your future, worrying about the work you're doing, or like, or any like social, like friends issues, dramas. Like everything's all very just
It's very
there and
intense.
heightened, and like, because it is like one of the good things about uni was everything was like together. It was like a nice little bubble, but then
That was also
sometimes
the
fact that
con.
it's all one bubble is the cause for like the
Well-
stress, because you feel like you can never get away from it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that actually, well, yeah, because if you, like, for you and me, we actually moved away from home to go uni.
Yeah.
I originally wasn't going to go to uni, actually. I was going to stay home and do a foundation course at my college. Obviously, I'm very glad I went to uni because, obviously, you know, there you go. But, you know, it's just like, you learn your own independence. You learn how to actually, like, it's going to sound stupid, but you learn how to be an adult. It's kind of, it's
True.
always a thing when, I'm sure you'll know this, I don't know if you, say when you were driving, learning how to drive.
Yeah.
My driving instructor always told me, I can teach you how to drive, but you're gonna learn how to drive when you've passed your driving test. You're not gonna really learn now.
Yeah.
Which is 100% true, because, you know, when you're in a driving lesson, you've obviously got your driving instructor who's telling you, you know, slow down or speed up, you know, brake here or whatever. don't hit the person, but you know, but obviously then when you're on your own, you've got all the responsibility falls on you. Like, if you crash, it's your fault. If you hit something, it's your fault. There's no getting away from it unless someone hits you, which is very likely.
Yeah.
You know, especially in today's world, there's so many cars on the road. I've never met anyone who's never had like a bump or scratch in their whole lifespan of driving. But like uni, you can learn to be an adult. Right. Okay then. So let's move it on to
Yeah, uni. This is what
this is a uni
We
podcast.
digress.
we do move quite quick. So
That sums up uni, not having any focus
that
and
is,
really doing what you're meant to do.
yeah, because
So that is uni.
the amount of times where I'd be doing something and then I'd be like, I fancy going for a walk. And I'd just go for a walk, and I know I'm meant to be doing something. Like, usually, with uni, you wouldn't just have one thing to do. You'd have quite a few things to do.
Everything to do.
And literally, I remember
You do none of it.
I remember doing all my
Actually.
work, and I was like, I'm going to go for a walk. And I went for a walk through the town. I got Greg's, I think. Most probably I always got Greg's. And I was just walking, and then I was like, right, I got a lesson in like 10 minutes, I better start heading back. And I'm walking, feeling happy with myself. And then I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot. I forgot to do this. And it'd always be, once you forgot, it'd always be that lesson where someone would be like, so have you done this? And you'd be like,
What?
oh,
We
no.
were willing to do something.
Well,
Have you read your lines?
What lines?
Lines? We were we're seen today. What? Could you wear
You're doing an acting course. You're meant to learn lines. I've never heard of this before, but
yeah. Neither did anyone else in our class.
But I have to say, like, out of the 3 years, because I always remember distinct things happening over 3 years, yeah. So I always, the first thing that sticks out to me is the first year. In the first year. Because I'm quite a very stressful person anyway. I get myself worked up very easily. I hate it.
Yeah.
But
I do remember some very distinct moments of me just lying on my bed, on my like uni bedroom floor, just like.
When will it end?
Literally, yeah, just lying on that horrible itchy, really like.
The carpet.
Just like, what am I doing?
I always remember getting really worked up because you'd be like working really hard, and you'd always get a second and third years be like, don't worry about it. First year don't matter. And it used to.
I tried so hard first year, but by the time I got to second year, I was burnt out. I don't remember second year.
Literally, right?
Blurry.
The first year, I remember getting so aggro with people who'd be like, it don't matter, don't worry about it. But I'd be like, I gotta do it for myself. I have to work hard for myself. I need to get this sorted now so I can do second and third year, like, just bang bang, yeah? But I always remember talking to myself, but like telling myself in the first year,
Yeah.
you're not going to tell second, you're not going to tell first year when you're second and third year. It don't count, don't worry about it when you seem stressed. And what did I do? Second and third year, I saw first year stress.
Because you realise, when you get to second year, you realise that, like, all you should do first year is piss about. And that's not saying that you shouldn't try with your work or whatever.
But, like,
at the end of the day, that's important. But, like,
don't take it so
Unless you're doing
serious.
sports where it matters, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, probably some maybe medical courses, first year is probably more important. But I'm talking about, like, these courses where you're doing, like, English and psychology and
proper heavy drama.
all those kind of courses that, like, are good courses. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
one. But, like, let's be real here. We're here for the piss about.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, actually, because let's be honest, we were talking about this before we started. You got the first year, which is the year you get settled in to uni. You develop a friend group, you understand
the change.
the change. You develop from being at home to being a uni student. You know, like I moved 350 miles away from my house. Not because I didn't like my house, but I was like, that looks nice. I like it here. Yeah, sure, why not? But then, obviously, first year, you get to know people, your course, your friends, you get to understand.
What's coming at you first year?
Yeah. You understanding that in a drama course, there's drama which isn't related to the course. There's usually a lot of drama behind the scenes.
And then second year, that escalates.
It escalates.
To rather extreme levels.
It is extreme levels, and why does it go
the peak
extreme?
of July. Again, this is probably something very specific to our course, but we won't go into it.
But we know where this is going. But like second year, I don't know about you. Second year for me was like the partying year. That was the year I kind of I put my head down with my work. Not as much as I should have, most probably, to be fair. But I would go out like twice a week. Now, for the people who's watching this video, I don't really go out much. I'm not a party person. I'm not a club person.
No.
But once you're in that environment and you've got all your friends around you, you're having a laugh, you really don't care. You don't give a flying hoot what's going on in the world. You don't care about if you got lines to learn for tomorrow, which, let's be honest, majority of people... Or horse to ride. I literally still don't know, right, how the one lesson of horse riding that you were sober, you fell off a horse.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. Like that.
I know. I think I just got into such a routine of being extremely hungover every time I got onto those big beautiful creatures. But the one day that I had my wits about me.
You were like, I've just gone off the rails here.
Yeah. See, you say you can remember distinct moments in uni. My distinct moments were the 3 times I injured myself. So, first year.
Yeah.
I very dramatically fell off a horse, and then my jacket got attached to the horse, so I got dragged for a little bit, and then he kind of kicked me off.
I shouldn't laugh, but...
I don't think my arm's ever been the same since that. Second year, when we were doing...
sword fighting.
We were doing fencing. I got... stabbed in the eye.
Can we just say this was the very first lesson as well, where we found out that wearing the glasses is actually worse for your vision on
it's actually less safe to wear the protective glasswear because you have less peripheral vision. Oh, okay. We'll go with the very protective eyewear.
In the eye. In the eye. Because I wasn't in that lesson with you. I remember...
No, you're not.
No, I was in another... This is the thing, we wasn't actually in lessons.
You weren't in my...
We was... I don't think in the 3 years we were together in a class.
I mean, that's a complete lie.
Is it?
We were in the same class like all of first year. It was just second year when it got mixed up.
Okay then. Yeah, but that's like 3 years ago. I can't remember what I had for breakfast last week, let alone 3 years ago.
Yeah, but second year, film combat.
So what happened in the third year then?
That was my knee.
Oh, your knee on the night out where me and Evan had to carry you home. Yeah, I remember that.
And it was funny because I always joked after, I fell off the horse first year.
Yeah.
Second year I got stabbed in the eye. And I always thought it would be during aerial circus because our course had lots of crazy stuff. I was like, it's got to be an aerial circus because I'm in the air, I'm doing tricks in the air. They're quite risky. I thought to complete the set of 3, I'd injured myself during circus skills, but
it's on a night out.
No, it caught me off guard. I was so careful in aerial circle not to injure myself for a third time, but just while being a bit slightly tipsy
on the Sweet Caroline.
I don't think I was even that drunk. I don't even blame the alcohol. I think my knee just gave out. I don't think I even did anything to it. I didn't fall over, it just gave out.
I'm pretty sure it was quite early on in the night as well. It wasn't that late.
We had a couple ciders maybe, but I don't think I was drunk.
No, none of us was really that gone that night. We were all very... we all knew what was happening, which, to be fair, with our friends group was quite amazing. Because usually we'd all drink and we'd all, forget what was going on around us.
I always knew what was happening. I'm a very good drunk.
I'm a social butterfly when I'm drunk, I realise. It's quite weird being an introvert with extrovert tendencies. I don't
Doing dance moves.
like, can you the dance moves? Can you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but we were walking through town from mine to go back to uni, and we were talking about how like I just talk to people, and then
Yeah.
we
I'm
were.
very talkative now.
When you get me talking, I'll talk. That's the problem. Like, you gotta start a conversation, but like, I won't start a conversation. But if you start a conversation, I will happily talk with that, with that person.
You say happily, but most of the time you don't want to be in a conversation. You're
Well,
just too polite.
Can you remember we were walking? Can you remember walking through town and we were running late actually for
yeah,
something,
that guy trying to sell books.
and it was a monk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a monk, and he was like, "Oh, do you guys know where this is?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's over here, up there, turn right down there." He's like, "Brilliant. Have you got a minute to talk?" I was like, "No, not really." He's like, "Oh, it's about this." I'm like, "Go on then, let's have it out here and now." And he kept us talking, and I always remember looking at you, and you were slowly walking away, like, little footsteps. And I was like, we gotta go. And he handed me a little thing, and he was like, "Oh, if I see you around, like, come out and talk to me." And I always remember, I'd never do this again. I always remember looking out for someone and being like, I gotta hide if I ever see this person, because, not because he was a bad person, just because I was enjoying the conversation so much. I was like, if I start this conversation again, I don't know how long I'm gonna be standing
You're gonna
here.
get converted into this
Into, like,
whatever religion or belief he was a part of.
Oh yeah, like, it's just one of those things.
Roaming the streets trying to sell this book.
So how do you join this group? Well, I was actually on my way to uni, but like, this guy asked for directions and I happily gave it to him, and then just had a conversation with this guy. But I'd have to say though, second year was party year. It just was party year. Like, I remember second year was obviously the first year I met your sister. At yours, at pre-drinks actually, I met your sister in your room. And I always remember it was me, you, Tom and Sophia, and I looked over at Tom, I was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "It's Sophia." I'm like, "Who's Sophia?" And he's like, "It's Eloise's sister." I'm like, "Eloise got sister? What?" And do you know what? Sophia's great, honest God, like, fair play. But like, looking at you guys now, like, I can go, "Oh yeah, you can see that we're sisters, 100%. But for some reason, I don't know if it was the alcohol in my veins at that point, I was just like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, we don't think we look similar, but everyone else is like, you're like twins.
Yeah, I wouldn't say twins, but like, I'd say you look, you definitely look sisters.
The same family.
Yeah. But then, obviously, you got the third year of uni then, which takes...
That's when I settled.
You settled, you are very... Not you personally, I mean a uni student. Very... they run on emotions, I would say. Like, that is the core thing of a uni student third year. You could be so stressed and someone be like, "You will go out drinking," and you might have given up on your life at this point. They'll be like, "Yeah, let's go out for a drink," and you'd be like, "I'm only out for one," and then you'd be out all night long and you'd be like, "I got a class in like 6 hours, I better like go sleep." And then someone be like, "Mackie," you'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I know." And you just do like a whole 24-hour stint of not sleeping. And then you'd be like, "I feel fantastic." And then you just crash. You just black out. That was that was it. But third year, I'd have to say is the year you put your head down and you work your ass off. Like, you're meant to work your ass off. I know
Yeah.
you get the work done. You make sure you get the work done whether it's good.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, it gets done.
Yeah, my kind of like timeline of kind of like first year, it's all new. I'm stressed. I do the work. Second year, I'm stressed. I don't do the work.
I party.
Third year, I'm stressed, but I'm at one with the stress. So the work gets done.
You ride the stress.
But I'm falling apart while I'm doing it.
Yeah, you literally.
That was my relationship. It was like first year I tried, second year I probably missed more lectures this year than any other year, and then third year I'm having the time of my life.
This is
doing my work. I'm doing it all.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
All the Mackies runs.
Yeah, like I can.
All the nights out,
but
all the work at the same time.
I always remember.
Third year was good.
Until
a global pandemic, but we'll discuss that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. The pandemic, actually, but like, yeah, third year was just, especially for us, it was kind of a messy year. Like we got through it, but it was just loads of different factors in terms of our group in particular, which messed around, like, you know. I'm not gonna lie, it was a hard year that year. Whether it was down to the course or the situations or the friendships. Like, this is the thing with uni that you never grasp, is the friendships you make in uni can either make or break you in terms of who you are. Because I don't believe in the thing of if you part ways with someone who's a friend of yours in uni, I don't believe that it's like a bad thing overall. Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing either, like you lost a friend, but like there's a reason why you parted ways. But I also feel like the friendships you make in uni are usually the friendships you have for life then. Like, if you think about it, like when we went back to Chichester for our graduation, I never, if we didn't go uni at that particular time, we wouldn't have known each other.
Like, no, it's crazy thinking about that, isn't it? Yeah.
We wouldn't.
Have little things.
We had friends on that group, which were across 3 or 4 different years. I say 4 years because I should have been at uni the year ahead, the year before. But like, we had you, me, Evan on that year, and Sam. We had James on the second year. We had Kaya on the first year. And then we had Sammy, who was on, I believe it's 4th year? I think it was 4th, he done music. 3rd or 4th year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how they work, like, different, courses. But, like, it is so fascinating to me to think about it in that, that way. Because, obviously, if you go to school, you usually hang around with people in your class, don't you? That's your friendship group. If you go to college, you kind of expand a little bit. Uni is an awful one-on-one for all. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm friends with people who I most probably would have never met in my life because they're friends of a friend,
See, that's the beauty of it, though. You just, like, come across so many different kind of, like, in different circles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people all over the country just come to one place.
And, you all share, that's the thing. No one is alone at uni. Like, no matter how you feel or who you are not alone at uni. There is...
Like, you will find your people.
Yeah, you will find your people.
Even and you feel like it settles in your third year, like you do find your people.
Yeah.
And it's rarely the people you meet in Freshers Week.
Yeah,
it's rarely even the people you live with, like the first year.
You know, it's just how it develops as a uni student or as a person. You know, you got the highs, you got the lows, you got the friendships you make, you got friendships that don't last. They all make the person at the end of the, like, who you are at the end of the uni life. Like, looking back at uni, I wouldn't change one single bit about you. You make friends, some friendships you don't last with. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not saying that's a good thing.
It just happens.
It just happens.
It's part of life.
Yeah, it's part of life, you know. You could have the closest friendship with someone for 3 years, but like if it's not working at the end in a healthy way, it's not working at the end in a healthy way. That's the simple thing of it. That's like all relationships. Like, you know,
it might break your heart, but like
it progresses you as a person. And I think that's the major thing of uni, is that it's a mindset, is not being a perfectionist, but being a progressionist. Everything in your life happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad. Like, that's my way of thinking. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. It could happen in the weirdest way possible, and you might never see it happening. But if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If it's not, it won't.
Yeah, and I feel like I think that's just one thing about uni. Like it can be tough at some parts, especially like a social aspect right at the beginning. Like, you might be lucky that you kind of like find your group of people quite early on, and they like stick with you. But like that might not be a case for a lot of people. Like, I know they didn't really like connect with anyone much first year. Like the people they like, I was quite lucky that my course mates kind of ended up being like some of my like best friends. So, but like, the people I lived with, like even like first and second year, like there wasn't that much. Like, some people were really close with the people they live with. Like, I didn't really have that until like third year, where it was like I just kind of like felt a bit more settled.
Yeah.
Like I like the people I live with, and it was fun. But like first year, like it kind of, the course was almost an escape, because I didn't feel like I had any kind of like a social aspect like in my house. So it was a bit going home was a bit like, I'm here again kind of thing. But like,
yeah, you got the social presence of, just even if they aren't your friends.
Like, I was like when I was home, I was like, and that was it kind of thing. It was just like, so that was like why I think third year was such a nice change for me, because like, like I didn't mind going back like to like a house. Like, you kind of find your people, and I think that's just one thing that to like maybe not worry about, like if you are like going into uni,
like especially like, now with COVID.
Yeah, like the social aspect is a bit more, maybe like it's harder to find, but like it does happen. And even if you're not one for going out, like you'll find people that don't like going out, and you can have night-ins, or if you do like occasionally going out, like there's always going to be people that are going out.
Well, you got like societies as well, haven't you? Where like film society and martial arts.
There's always something, and there's kind of, it's not worth stressing about that it doesn't feel like it's coming naturally. Like, think, like thinking about it before uni, you kind of think, going to uni, you're like straight away, it'll be all fun from there. But that's not always the case. And I think that's the best thing to do, is not to worry about things not being how you expected, because it never is. Things are never how you expected, and especially when you're
in life.
It might be like the first time away from home, and everything's kind of coming at you. You've got to learn how to cook.
Clean.
Like, really have any, like, there's no meet new people and stuff.
It really throws you in the deep end, don't it? Like,
it does, because you just, everything's throwing at you. And like, I think I was alright. Like, I think if I went to straight after I left school, like, I don't know, I think it probably would have broken me. Because I don't think I would have been ready for it, like, as soon as I left school.
Yeah.
But, like, I had a nice, like couple years where I just learned about life. But then, so I find it's different for people that are going straight from school because they learn all about that when they're going in it for the first time. So I suppose that's something that I can't really relate to because I kind of had a bit of outside education time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then I was like ready to go back into it, but
yeah, well, yeah, because I have
uni's
to.
a funny one.
It definitely shakes you around. You know, it really it develops you as a person for starters.
Yeah.
But it really also helps you get your life together in a weird way. Like,
We're forced to.
well, yeah, it's the whole thing. But even just the small things of, like, even having a routine, you know, going to classes and then having a social aspect, you know, it's just the whole thing where, like I said earlier, the responsibility is actually on you. So, it's kind of up to you to create your own path in uni.
Yeah.
You can't kind of just sit around and do nothing. Well, you can if you wanted to, but like
Lots of people did.
lots of people do. Lots of people do. We both know quite a few people who do, but like it's just the whole thing with uni in terms of yeah, I wouldn't change one bit of a uni course or like a uni life.
No.
It was just so eye-opening and amazing, I think.
Definitely.
So it's
not meant to be one easy ride.
Well, that's the thing. That I think the one thing it taught me really was to kind of just go with the flow of life.
Yeah, literally.
I'm awful for this personally. I'm always like, I need a plan. I need, like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. So I'm awful for it. But I'd say most probably the easiest time in my uni life was in third year when we were doing a dissertations. We were doing the lessons, and we were doing an inspector course.
Inspector course?
A government inspector.
No, you're the director. Come on.
I know. I was the director, but I messed it up. But well,
it was such a busy time in our lives, but it was so good.
Well, I was.
And we still went out and did loads of like stuff, like games nights and like nights out and stuff.
I remember leaving mine at Stockbridge, which is about a 25-minute walk to the uni, at like 8:30, and then getting back at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and being like, I didn't overthink, I didn't get anxious, I didn't get stressed.
It was nice.
You were just like always busy and just always doing something to keep you occupied. And I think that's the main thing, is if you can occupy yourself and keep yourself surrounded by good people, having fun, smiling,
getting to like a society or something that you like doing, so it's not all, it's kind of like, that's the thing, is I wouldn't go into uni thinking it's all one thing, like it's all work or it's all fun,
or
it's
partying,
it's all whatever. You kind of, it's just everything. It's never going to be all good. It's got to be messy.
It definitely will be messy.
Quite a lot is going to be messy. You're going to probably cry over your workload. You're probably cry over some other stuff.
Yeah.
But then, but it's all there. It's all there for you.
It's all
the whole experience. You got to take the good with the bad, and all the cheesy other sayings you can think of. It's all true because it's just.
It is all true, as cheesy as it is.
Like,
it's all.
You want to say something more profound, but like.
It's just how. It is.
I was just about to say something really cheesy, and I had to stop myself. I was going to say, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And I would almost threw up and choked on my own. So that's forget that I was going to say that.
Well, it is just the whole. Well, luckily for us, luckily I say, we left uni when COVID was striking. Like, even though it's called COVID-19, we didn't leave uni until March 20. Yeah, 2020 in March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
It was like we had 1 week of lessons when we
Yeah.
went into lockdown. So we only missed 1 week of lessons.
that's
Our
that's
assessments got messed up, but
but that's
like-
the whole thing. Like all our social things, we were planning to like go
I
to like
literally
Fort
that's the
Park and
that was the biggest tragedy because it was like all that you were saying that like the best time of like third year, the best time of uni. That was in that like
in that chunk.
those couple of months, like from whether it would be from like the short movie and then
Yeah,
just like the first part of 2020 for me was honestly like
amazing.
I was having the best time of my life. Like I honestly, that was like peak,
Yeah,
and that's why it pays me so much to say that like the second half was the shittest. It was like literally the biggest fall from grace. It's the most humbling thing I've ever had. I was like, oh yes, this is it. I found life. This is it's all going. It's all going great. Everything's so good. I found my people. I'm doing stuff that I love.
yeah.
I'm doing lots of it, and I've got lots of it planned. And then suddenly,
Bang. Well, it was the whole thing as well because I remember I came out of combat. What was the martial arts? Street fighting. I came out of street fighting, and I was like, I've got scan email. I bumped into Sammy actually, and he was like, "Oh, have you heard?" I was like, "No," and you know about COVID and how it's spreading, and we were like, "No," and then we shook hands and we walked away, and then I looked at my phone and had an email. I was like,
we slapped on each other's hands, and you're like, "Hey!"
you know, high five, because that was the
Yeah.
whole thing, wasn't it? It was
You're licking each other's faces, and, hand sanitizer and stuff.
you know, and then we got the email saying, "Oh, lessons cancelled," you know, and we were, let's be honest, we were all like, "Oh, we'll go home for 2 weeks and we'll be back in like 2 to 3 weeks." Little did we know, uni was ending for us right there and then. We all had to leave. I remember having a conversation with my mum and stepdad, being like, "Oh no, I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna stay here on my own in Stockbridge," because my flatmates left to go home because their parents were like, "Oh, come home." I was like, "No, I'm staying here. I'm gonna ride this out on my own in Stockbridge on my own." Can I say, it wasn't just my flat. It wasn't just my flat. It was the whole of Stockbridge. The building just left. I was the only one there. I was like, "No, I'll be fine now. Louise and Tom's up the road. I'll just go and see them like every other day or whatever." And then I remember like 2-3 days later going, "This is kind of worse. I better go home." And then
it was literally,
it was like we came home, and there you go, that's better. We came home. No, it's not. There you go. Came home, and then that was it. Uni was ended for us. We didn't get the celebration part of uni, like, you know, finishing work.
Nothing to end. It was literally like, I remember we did the government inspector, like the final performance on the Sunday.
And then
this is Monday. Yeah.
No, Saturday. Saturday we done
whatever.
it because we had the after part. No, it was Sunday because we had the party at Teresa's house.
Yeah. Either way, it was like government inspector at the weekend, lessons on Monday. Tuesday, I came out of street fighting too. I was sat in the canteen learning lines for like the next lesson. Of course, I hadn't learned the lines already. And then it was like email. "Oh, we got no lesson this afternoon. Okay. No more uni. Okay. And then Wednesday was a bit like, "Oh, well, this is weird, but it should be all right for assessments, yeah." And then Thursday, good old Bojo on the TV saying, "Yep, we're going into lockdown." Like, oh shit, this is a thing. This is happening. This is getting serious now.
And look, we were in 2021, and we're still.
And then 2 years later,
we're still going. Are we going into another lockdown? No.
Probably.
Most probably. So to like slowly round it up a little bit. Obviously, like, we had to leave uni due to COVID, and I think that was one of the saddest things, actually, because we never got to say goodbye to the people. Let's be honest, you don't obviously keep in touch with everyone in your class, like
yeah. Like, I feel like if our uni hadn't have just given up and did like online graduations up at a lot of places, just some people they've literally never seen again.
Yeah,
like there would have been no bye. It would have just been like,
don't.
Oh yeah, remember them.
Remember them, and remember never saying like goodbye or good luck for the future or whatever.
Yeah.
Luckily, we did get a graduation this year.
Yeah,
fantastic.
A year later.
A year later, but to be fair, most unis didn't do.
Exactly. I was gonna say, we're quite quite thankful for that. Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people, they just did it online, didn't they?
I mean, like I said, we were coming to the end of our uni life anyway. Like, we only had our dissertation, really. That was it left to do.
Yeah.
But I spoke to Kaya the other day, and I asked her, I was like, what's like the two biggest things that's changed because of COVID? And she was like, well, the worst part is the social aspect, knowing that you go less and then you gotta go home. You can't go to the pub, you can't you can't do anything really. Luckily now you can, but that was the major thing.
It's a bit slightly more normality.
Yeah, but she also said the thing that taught her most was that how like people take for granted their friends and stuff like that. She's like, I've learned that I'm just so happy being around these people, and I can call them my friends. So it changes like everything. Like, hopefully the next years they'll get a better year than this year and whatever.
Yeah.
But
I feel more sorry for the people that had to do their even first year, last year. That would have been
awful, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just
no freshers, no SU.
Yeah, that's the main thing about first year, is just getting out there and doing everything and seeing everyone.
Yeah, so
that would have been so weird. No.
But you got any advice for anyone else when we're closing up on uni?
I was going to say don't stress, but I mean that's half of uni, unfortunately.
Half?
Don't worry about the stress. You will be stressed, but that's just part of it.
Yeah,
trying to
control it.
I don't know. You can't really say don't be stressed.
Just
let you can't help yourself, but it's just kind of just take it.
Take it as it comes.
With it. It's just I don't know.
Take it
I'm
as
not good with advice, but you just.
But thank you very much for your input.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Uni is messy, but it's the best kind of messy.
It is the best kind of messy. I'll definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and you will find your people.
You will. Never,
how long it takes.
Never worry about.
On the third year, you will get there.
You will find them. But that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with another topic.
Oh, what's that one then?
Well, we'll leave that as a surprise.
You decided yet? We can leave that for next week. Yeah.
Leave that as a surprise for next week.
Be a surprise.
Whoa, I dropped the camera. But yeah, we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining and speak to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.